The latest on the Enyobeni Tavern tragedy. Now, the toxicology results, you will know that is what is under discussion right now. What killed the children? Was it suffocation, or did the children crush each other as a result of overcrowding in that establishment? Well, parents have expressed dissatisfaction in the way in which the Eastern Cape government has handled this matter. And let's get more detail now on what exactly that toxicology report says. And we speak to the MEC of Health in that province, MEC Nomakhosazana Meth. MEC, thank you very much for your time. Can we start off with what the toxicology report says, MEC, about what killed these children? What does that report say?
Good morning, and good morning to the viewers at home. Firstly, I want to, on behalf of the Department of Health, once again send our deepest condolences to the families of the 21 kids who demised during this tragic event of Enyobeni. We feel their pain and understand that they need closure. May their souls rest in peace. Firstly, we want to say we respect the request by the families that as government we must stop involving the media on this matter. And we want to continue to do that. Hence, even when we had a session to communicate the results on the 1st of this month, that was a closed session with only the families. So, as we agreed with the families that we shall respect their plea, and we decided not to open it up to media, we still feel even now it's not correct for us to go into detail exposing or reporting on the results in terms of the toxicology assessment that was done. However, that does not mean we have not given ourselves time to engage the communities individually to give them the reports specifically to their kids. So we did that on the 1st of this month. So it's untrue that you have been saying the report is confidential, because we did.
So, MEC, for the record, are you saying that the parents were actually given physical copies of that toxicology report? Is that what you're telling us?
No, giving is not physical. They were presented the contents in verbatim of the report as it came from our laboratory, and we given them the overall outcome of the assessment, and went down to Zoom now per family to say, your child, this is the cause of death in terms of the work that we have done so far as a Department of Health. Remember, this matter is not only a health department issue. There's an inquest here because the death is unnatural. So our part, which is clinical, in terms of autopsy and all the work that we've done to assist SAPS to take a decision overall in terms of the investigation. That part that we're playing as a department, we've handed it over to the families, we've handed it over to SAPS. As we speak now, the autopsy report, the final report, is available, was presented verbally, but they were advised, which is how our government works when there's an unnatural death and there's investigation. They were advised that if they want their hard copy of the reports, they must go to SAP's office in East London, where they will be given their autopsy report.
MEC, let me find out from you what exactly this report says, and we are simply interested in the cause of death, as the parents are, because this is what they are dissatisfied about. They are saying that that report, as you say now, that you did not give them physical copies, you simply told them verbatim what the report said. And so they are confused about whether the children crushed each other to death or there was suffocation as a result of overcrowding inside that tavern. Which of the two is correct?
I don't think the parents are unsatisfied with us not issuing the report to the media. Because as I said earlier on, it was the request actually not even a request, an instruction, which is within their right from the families to say, as government, when we are dealing with this matter, let's not do our things through media. So we gave them the report, which is the final report. And again, as I said, we did not give it physically because that's not the procedure. We as the Department of Health, on a report of an unnatural death, which is under investigation, we don't just give to the family members the report, autopsy report or postmortem report. What happens, the family, a person who is the right person appointed by the family to look after this matter, goes straight to SAP's office and gets a physical report. What we did is to present, read in verbatim, the report as it came out of our laboratories in terms of the cause of death. But as I said earlier on, that cause of death talks to the clinical cause of death as a result of the autopsy that we did. But there's other elements to this as it is an investigation. Hence we are saying, even if our results are out, our process is final, it gets done through SAPS. So we presented in the presence of SAPS, but the families were advised which office to go to collect their physical report. Because even when you collect the physical report, there is a process that gets followed to make sure that a person who is given that report is the relevant person who is supposed to get that report. We are doing this also guided by law. Remember, there is POPI Act, which is the Protection of Personal Information Act. There is also the PIA, which is the protection of access or promotion of access to information. So we are doing all this guided by law. So we can't give people in a hall a report which is supposed to be given by SAPS in an office with a person who's responsible for that having to sign and take the report. So that's what our people were told, and I am confident because they heard. They are going to the offices of SAPS now as we speak to get their reports.
MEC, to make the viewers understand, so for example, one of the processes you have said is that the parents can use the Promotion of Access to Information Act in order to gain access to this report. That could take some time as we understand these processes. How do you respond to viewers who are saying that this is quite insensitive and a demonstration of an uncaring government on your part, because this is almost secondary victimization of these parents?
Actually, Oli, just mentioned the two acts that they are guiding the processes of sharing information, but in this instance, the families are allowed to go and just get their reports from SAPS. There is no complicated procedure or process that gets followed. And I think it was outlined in the meeting of Thursday to say they will just go to SAPS. That person who is the relevant person to get the information will produce whatever documents needs to be produced in terms of the procedure of SAPS and get that. It's not complicated at all.
All right.
And again, I think it's not correct. It's misrepresentation of facts to say parents or family members were not given the report. Because giving the report is both verbally and physically. And verbally, because we're trying to be transparent and we're trying to also deal with the anxiety that is outside there and to be seen as a government, in particular the Department of Health, that cares. We don't normally do this thing of briefing family members on the outcomes. The route, if it's a natural cause of death, is through SAPS. But we went an extra mile as Department of Health to go and brief the families. Then the report itself to get the hard copy of it. This is the process of government. That must be followed by all.
You seem to understand this process much better, MEC. So are you telling us right now that any parent, any of these 21 parents who's listening to you and me right now, they simply can go to the police station as directed, which specific office, and actually get the report without any hassle? Is that what you're saying, that they can walk out of that office with a copy in hand?
That's what I'm saying, Oli. Actually, they were even given, I believe, the address of the office that they may go to, the name of the officer who is dealing with this matter. Final autopsy results are ready. in that office, which I am sure that the parents know which office is it in East London.
MEC of Health in the Eastern Cape, thank you very much for that clarity. Nomakhosazana Meth is the executive authority in that department.